Everybody, it's me, your buddy Dave, the host of the Dark Stuff channel here on YouTube. Thanks a lot for checking out my latest video. As always, it's much appreciated. So folks, today I'm going to jump in on this new tag that's going around in the vinyl community. Yes, I'm still in the vinyl community, people. I know you think you banished me or that I left or I've been expelled, whatever. I've been in this thing more than 10 years. I can count on like two hands the amount of people who have been in as long as me. So let's push that aside. I don't do a ton of vinyl community videos, but I'm doing this 80s music tag from Kraken Vinyl, and I decided to do it because I got a new computer the other day, and as I was setting it up, I set it up, and I saw that, or this morning, I saw that Lost Mixtapes did a version of this, so I thought, all right, I'll do one too. So the 20 questions are at Kraken Vinyl's channel. I'll put a link to the original post, and here we go. Okay, which 80s song had the best video? Now this is kind of cheating a little bit, okay, but I'm gonna go with the song Bastards of Young by The Replacements from the album Tim. Now, if you know anything about this video, it is just a speaker just pumping for the entire 4.5 minutes of the song, making a statement about how much they hate videos and stuff like that. I think it's perfect. It sums up the band perfectly, it sums up their attitude perfectly, and even though I don't necessarily share that vision of, like, you know, videos are just completely 100% terrible, I certainly understand the sentiment. So mine would be Bastards of Young by The Replacements. Number 2, show an album released in 1983. Here goes, Metallica, Kill 'Em All. I mean, there's a million records came out in 1983. I almost grabbed Synchronicity, I almost grabbed Hootenanny by The Replacements, whatever, but Metallica, Kill 'Em All. One of the biggest, most significant debuts in rock history. Show a 12-inch record. Question number 3. All right, here's Elvis Costello, Man Out of Time, with Town Crier on the back. One of many 12 inches and 7 inches I have of Elvis Costello. Number 4, a one-hit wonder. I don't know if this technically qualifies because I think this is a great band and they had a lot of good songs, but maybe the Del Fuegos with Don't Run Wild was their only real hit, but they had some other like radio tracks and some other stuff. So I think the Del Fuegos are a good band, but maybe I'm going to say Del Fuegos with Don't Run Wild as a one-hit wonder. Show a record by your favorite 80s artist. Well, that's going to be The Replacements with Let It Be. Not necessarily my favorite Replacements record. It changes. It goes Let It Be, Tim, Pleased to Meet Me, Sorry Ma. I mean, it just bounces around all the time. But let's say Let It Be, and this is an album by your favorite 80s artist. Okay, an 80s dance floor banger. Well, I don't have it on vinyl, so I just decided to grab the only record I had, but Madonna. I would say Madonna's first album, this is Like a Virgin, this is the only one I had on vinyl, but Madonna's first album is all 10 songs are bangers. They're all good. And I've listened to this recently. This is not just me remembering back in the day. I was like, it's a good fucking record. So I would say Madonna's self-titled, despite the fact that I'm holding Like a Virgin, which is nowhere near as good a record, by the way. Which album cover is the most 80s? That was really hard for me because I was kind of thinking like 80s hair bands. I was going to look for something that looked really 80s, but like, I don't know. I think this one for Heartbeat City from the Cars, it's a gatefold that expands outward into this big, image of this. So I don't know. I think this looks pretty 80s. I would say Cars, Heartbeat City. Show a record by your favorite act at Live Aid. Well, a lot of bands that I liked were at Live Aid. I was 14 when in 1985. I remember watching it. What I'm going to show though is Black Sabbath, because Black Sabbath reunited with Ozzy just for that one show, and it was not very good. It was all the original guys back, and the difference in status between Ozzy and Black Sabbath at that day on Live Aid versus when he had been fired from the band 6 years earlier was so palpable. I mean, Ozzy was a bona fide rock star at that point. Black Sabbath had already cycled through Ronnie James Dio, Ian Gillan, they were maybe David Donato. They were already on like their 5th singer or something like that, and they got back with Ozzy for the one show. It wasn't that memorable, but it was cool because it was all 4 of them getting back together, so I'm going to say Black Sabbath. Well, show a band with big hair. That's pretty obvious. We're going to go Motley Crue. They had some pretty big hair. This is the Theater of Pain album. Not my favorite Motley Crue record, but they definitely had big hair on that particular record. Favorite cover song? Easy. Okay, that is Husker Du doing 8 Miles High by the Byrds. I actually would venture to say it's better than the original. I know people are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, but I like this better than the Byrds original. I think this is the greatest cover version of all time, actually. Next question, number 11, a forgotten gem. Now, I'm going to surprise a lot of people. A lot of people know I do a podcast called Rock of Aging. We talk a lot about 80s metal, hair metal, so-called stuff. And this is an album that I think is really, really good. Black and Blue Without Love, that sold like no copies. It got no promotion. It was produced by Bruce Fairbairn, who later on had big hits with people like Bon Jovi and stuff. And this record came out in 1985, and it just kind of went nowhere. It was a little bit ahead of its time, but it is definitely a forgotten gem, a really great, catchy hard rock album from Black and Blue. It's number 12. Which two artists do you wish had collaborated? I don't usually like to do this kind of stuff, this fantasy, hey, could you get this person at this person? But I guess in the spirit of this, I would say Elvis Costello and Paul Westerberg. Okay? I mean, Costello wrote with Paul McCartney. He's written with some other people. Paul doesn't really collaborate too much, but if you're saying 1980s songwriters, I would like to see those two collaborate. Number 13, Time Machine. Which act do you wish you could go back and see live? Husker Du, 100%. They broke up at the end of 1987. I was supposed to see what would have been their final show, and the show got canceled, so I never did see Husker Du. I would like to go back and see them live. They just did a box set live album last year that was so good that it just made me want to see them live even more. But, of course, it's not possible because Grant Hart died about 10 years ago, so not possible. Okay, number 14, a synth pop record. I don't really have much of this. I don't like synthesizer music. I never really have. I've softened up on it a little bit over time, but I just grabbed a Kraftwerk CD because that's the only thing I could think of, and it's a CD, and it's not even from the 80s. It's a live record from later on, but if I could pick one, I would say Kraftwerk, but this is the only Kraftwerk I have in my collection. Number 15, a song from a movie. I would go with Joe Jackson doing Memphis from the Mike's Murder soundtrack. I just did a video a couple weeks ago on Joe Jackson. I saw him live for the first time. He didn't play the song Memphis, but it sort of brought back all these memories of cool Joe Jackson songs. There it is, Memphis from the album Mike's Murder by Joe Jackson. Okay, number 16, your Hairbrush song. And what I guess he meant by this was whenever this comes on, you have to sing along, like you grab your hairbrush and pretend it's a mic or something like that. So I would say I'll go with AC/DC Back in Black. Pretty much anything from this record, if I hear it on the radio or hear it on whatever, I just start singing along. It's such perfection in terms of hard rock that I would say anything off AC/DC Back in Black is my Hairbrush. It's my Hairbrush album, frankly. Okay, number 17, an urban record, hip-hop, soul, house, dance. Again, I don't have anything on vinyl. Very, very limited. I have some 90s R&B and rap vinyl, but I didn't really have much from the 80s, so I'm grabbing Public Enemy with their debut album, Yo, Bum Rush the Show, 1987. I've got every Public Enemy one, but all of them are on CD. So there you go. Well, this next one is sort of cheating. Number 18, who would you like to see make a comeback? Well, I'm saying the Bangles. They've already made a comeback. Okay, they got back together at the end of the 90s. They made 2 new albums. But at the end of 2019, they did some shows, and that was the end. And they haven't scheduled anything in the last 6 years. And Susanna Hoffs has solo shows. The Peterson sisters are doing their own thing. There was a biography on the band written that was not very nice towards Susanna Hoffs. I think it was a lot of score settling by the Peterson sisters. So I don't see the Bangles ever getting back together. I think they are officially done. But if they could make a comeback, I would love it. I would go to see them in a heartbeat. Number 19, what album would you jam in a Walkman? I used to play Kiss Lick It Up when I had the cassette of this in a Walkman over and over and over and over. I remember sitting at my grandma's place, sitting out in her lanai in Florida, listening to that record. I remember just because I didn't listening on my bike or just walking or whatever because I couldn't drive or anything. I used to listen to Kiss Lick It Up repeatedly. I know the lyrics backwards and forwards. I'm not bragging. That's just a true fact. Okay, and then number 20, your 80s crush. My 80s crush is still my current crush, and that is Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles. She's almost everybody's crush. Now, this is a more recent record of hers. I still collect everything she does. But it would be Susanna Hoffs. Ever since I first saw the Hero Takes a Fall video, I became a fan of the band and a fan of Susanna Hoffs, and she's still my 80s crush. Still is. All right, that's my 80s vinyl tag. Thanks a lot. Hope you dug it. Hope you make your own too. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.